Hey everyone, and welcome back to our fifth episode. I'm your host, Darius,
And I'm Jasmine.
and in this podcast, we're going to be talking about a little bit of everything
From our own lives to relationships and pop culture,
to politics, sports, music, and movies.
and whatever else sparks our interests. So, welcome to the We're Just Saying podcast.
So, babe, how you feeling this week?
Um, Last week was rough. It turned out to be really rough with work. And then I had a death in the family, so I have a funeral to go to this weekend, and then I have another cousin, a different side of the family who's having a party, and work is beating my ass right now. I'm like just tired even thinking about it. So I'm just crawling through it.
Crawling through.
My son goes to see his dad this week, so I got to drop him off at the airport on Wednesday. He's flying to Florida, and he does not have a direct flight, so I'm a little worried about that. I don't like layovers when it comes to minors flying by themselves. I know you don't like layovers.
I don't like layovers at all.
I don't mind a layover if I'm going with me because I'm a grown up, but he's 15, so. But luckily, he's flying, into Atlanta, and his dad is not too far from the Atlanta airport, and neither is his grandmother. So if push came to shove, either of them could get him if they had to. But he does fly into Florida, and it's about a 45-minute layover. So I'm just gonna be on his ass about getting off that plane, going to his gate, and being there because boarding starts 30 minutes before a plane takes off. So therefore, he has like 15 minutes, and I think he lands in one terminal and has to go to another one. So that's the other thing. I'm just like, prayer. We'll be fine.
I get you on that.
Yeah.
And I hate layovers anyway, so I can see that.
Yeah. But other than that, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Like I said last week, I'm really trying to focus on social media. So I have not posted anything, but I've been kind of like getting ready to revamp like my TikTok. I don't know if it's worth it because we still on what 30 days into our little trial for TikTok, because then we have like then what is it? What they gave us? 90. Congress gave us 90 days or something like that. 90 days.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot all about that. Yeah, sometime in April. I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, sometime in April.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got like a month, if so, left. So I was just like, I don't even know if it's really worth it, but we'll see.
It might not go away. He'll probably extend it out again. So
yeah. But in the meantime, I'm just like really working on my TikTok. I don't know if it'll get me anywhere in life, but gotta have something to focus on outside of work, something positive to my energy into. So yeah. What about you, babe?
Let's see. Everything's been going pretty good for me. I'm the exact opposite. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty consistent in the gym. Good things happening with the job.
You want to tell everybody your good news?
Not at all. Not putting that on this internet.
Okay.
Reason I'll talk to you off about it just in case.
Okay.
But yeah, good things happen to the job. I'll put it like this: I gotta change the schedule.
And travel.
Yeah, and travel. So so that's always good.
Or commute, I guess I should say.
Yeah, I gotta switch some stuff up, but ultimately, so very happy about that. And the gym and stuff, and like you said, my son's also on spring break this week. So he's chilling. Might come to actually stay with us for a couple of days out of it. So, I was a little excited about that and trying to see what me and him can get into for his spring break. So, yeah, very good week for me.
That's good. Yeah.
Mm.
What about last week? You feel like last week went good too? You said.
Yeah, last week going into this week, like I said,
Oh, we had date night too, right? Over the
oh yeah,
weekend. That was fun.
oh yeah, and I can finally get your real thoughts about it. What did you think about date night?
What do you mean, my real thoughts? What is that supposed to mean?
It was just a joke.
Oh.
Like you on the spot now, you could tell
No,
me.
I had a good time. Like I said, the only thing I didn't enjoy was that we sat next to. So we went to Fat Rosie's story time. We went to Fat Rosie's and it was like a 25-minute wait, and we got seated. And I understand this is our first, well, my first time. I don't know.
No, it's my first one.
My first time going to Fat Rosie's, and apparently it's a really popular spot, and they just cram fucking tables in there anywhere. So it was like the bar and then a table that gave you like this much room between the chair at the bar and then the table. So the waiters or wait staff just had very little space to get through. And then there's like this much space. And then this was our table right here. And then like a little bit of space for wait staff to get through. And then there were more tables. So it was pretty tight. And we sat down next to this white couple. And the lady next to us decided that she needed to talk to us instead of just minding her fucking business and eating her goddamn dinner and leaving us alone.
Now,
So my lovely golden retriever boyfriend over here likes people and he likes to talk to people. So he did the talking. I am a bitch. So I ignored those people until they finally finished their food and got up from our table. And then the next white couple came and sat down. And did we bother them, babe?
No,
we
but
didn't say another fucking word to those people. And they sat and they ate their dinner, and we sat and we ate ours.
But we were
like
also-
normal people.
They also came in at the end when we were getting ready to leave.
So we still didn't talk to them. We still didn't bother them.
Well, no,
We didn't ask them questions and shit.
you are.
Let them people man their business.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, the lady literally just said like 3 things to us.
Too many.
And we were literally at a table, like they clearly split. It was clearly 2 tables that were pushed, that should have been pushed together to sit 4 people, that they separated to sit 2 people at.
I understand. I don't agree with the seating
we are
situation. I
already
agree
close.
with nobody else over there talk to anybody, to their neighbors, except for her.
They were just friendly.
I don't like it. I don't need friends. Leave me alone.
I don't think they were trying to be friends. They were just being friendly.
I know. I don't need you to be friendly. I need you to leave. Don't talk to me.
I get you. I'm a deliverer. I get you.
Yes, that's how I feel. Yeah.
So,
And then we went to the torture museum, which was pretty cool.
big placards.
Yeah, and we walked past a crowd that was going to go see at the Chicago Theater, right?
Mumford
and Sons.
Yeah,
There was a lot of
their
a
music.
lot of the whites out.
How's their most popular song go again?
I have no idea. I don't even know. I had to look them up because I thought it sounded like Muffets or something. You know what I mean? That's what it came out. Mumford and Sons, or like an old TV show. I didn't know there was actual band. I'm assuming.
Yeah, the band.
Yeah, with people.
No,
with hair.
You know that
they have hair.
You would sing it. What is their most popular song? You know it.
I just told you I don't know it.
You were singing it. You know.
I don't know who these people are.
Mumford and Son. Mumford. You were singing it. Remember?
Sure. Yep. Yeah, I was. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Oh, did you see? Because there was an observation that you had made at the torture museum. You wanna share that about how they changed some words around?
Yeah, they skipped things. What was the first one?
Did they skip things or did they change the word?
No, they skipped. First, it was where they were doing the flogging, where they were whipping people, and then they just talked about it being in like early. I can't remember what century it was. Ooh, I took a picture. So let me look.
I was gonna say it's probably like 15th. It was probably like 15th century or 14th century or something like that.
I can't remember what it was, but I was like, they magically forgot to mention slavery. Nowhere did it say slavery. I'm like, there was a whole, and I get it. It was medieval, Right, that was what it was.
It's
Medieval
medieval
Torture Museum. But there were other displays that talked about how certain things like the what was it called? The Colombian necktie where they like slit the people's throat and pull their tongue through. And how they said that it's still happening in the 1900s as early as I think like the 1950s
60s,
or
yeah.
60s or something like that. So they could mention that, but they couldn't mention that they were fucking whipping black people on plantations in the 16, 17, and 1800s.
So because they missed 400 years of
Yes. I thought that was just pretty interesting.
so I don't know. It could have been like, a DEI thing.
In the end, they did mention for the stocks, they said that they mentioned in 2012 that there was a South African woman kept in one for 72 hours for adultery. But I just thought, I don't know if that's going to play out loud.
Yes, and just turn the volume down on the phone.
True. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty interesting. Maybe we can throw a couple of clips in there of the Torture Museum. But yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting that they didn't mention anything about black people being tortured or anything like that in there.
Well, like I said,
We like to rewrite history.
Yeah, exactly. And they only missed 400 years. So
Yeah, they like to erase, I guess, not rewrite. They like to erase our part in history.
yeah, we came over willingly and worked with our partners in America to build the country up.
Yeah.
And we were so nice. We said no charge.
Yeah, for free. And beat our ass a couple times too while you at it. Rape us, separate us from our families, burn us, hang us from trees. Oh, that was the other thing. It was hangings, right? And they failed to mention that niggas was hung from trees. That they would come and do pick a nigga picnics and pick niggas to hang from trees. So they failed to mention that too. I thought that was pretty interesting. So maybe I'll leave a review that they need to update their
I ain't gonna say it's no.
It's pretty cool, right? They have like an audio, like it was like you do the tour and you scan this QR code and it gives you an audio guide. So it kind of gives you a back history of each one. So you're supposed to spend like maybe like an hour and a half in there all together.
And it was interactive too, so you can play with like some of the. People are so creative when it comes to killing other people. They wanted you to suffer in medieval times, which is just nuts. Of hey, how can we kill you? We gonna barbecue you.
Yes, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
to say the least. People are sick, mostly white people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, babe. Want to get into our main topics?
All right, let's roll.
Okay. So when we got back from vacation, we talked about wanting to like get healthy. So what was that, like 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just wanted to do a quick update, just see how we're going, kind of update on our progress. So I kind of jotted down a couple of little things for us to go over. So first, if you want to share your weight loss progress, like have you lost any weight, or I don't know if you're measuring like body fat or anything like that. So like any progress there?
Yeah, no. So yeah, my weight loss journey is going pretty good. I started on March 1st, I was at 269. I weighed myself today, and I am at 251.
It's been longer than 2 weeks then.
Since we talked about
yeah, because we started in February.
Yeah, but we started what?
Working out, right? Didn't we go to
I started March 1st.
Okay, go ahead then. Okay, I don't know why I thought we started like right after we came back from vacation.
Yeah, I don't think we started right away, but
or maybe you're right. We did kind of start March. Okay, yeah, you. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, so I started off 269, which is the biggest I've ever been. And now I'm back down to 251. I've been going like pretty regularly, like 5 days a week. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very like motivated to do it, and it's just like I noticed I have like addictive personality. So if I find something and like really set my mind to it, that's like all I think about. And that's all I can, like. That's I make sure that I do it because even like I went today and I did not want to go today, but um, but yeah, I ended up going and I actually like I do a lot of cardio. Um, and I actually like went the farthest. I actually hit the 5 mile mark in an hour. So I was like, all right, like that's what's up. That's what I was trying to do. Um, so yeah, I've been holding on to it. How about your journey?
So when I started, I was at like 175 and I'm at 170.2. Or I have not weighed. I weigh on Wednesdays, so I lost about 5 pounds in the last 2 weeks
Nice.
since I weighed in. So, but I'm mostly um because I have my smartwatch, so I'm tracking my body fat and that's gone down. Like I do like the little test where I have to take it off of this wrist right here and I have to put it on this one and then I have to like hold my hand up and then it measures like my skeletal mass, my muscle mass, the fat, and then water. And it
Hmm.
kind of tells me the percentages of my weight, breaks it down that way. So, and so right now my goal is to burn fat first to get my body fat percentage down. I don't really have an exact set goal because I can't remember the number right now. So, but probably just like the next maybe another 4 to 6 weeks to burn some more fat. And then after that, the goal is to build muscle. So I will be going from being in a calorie deficit to a calorie uptick, but like mostly just protein. Like I am trying to figure out a protein shake that I will consistently drink. So that's my next goal. I guess that can lead us to diet if you want to talk about what you've been eating or what you plan on. I know you say you plan on changing your diet up a little bit next month. So next week, pretty much.
Yeah. So as you know, this week I've had a pretty very strict diet that I just put myself on. There's no rules to it or nothing. It's just something I just came up with, which is, pretty much all chicken if I eat a meat, um, and some kind of green and oatmeal and protein. Oatmeal is gross. Sorry, I just want to throw it in there, just the little inside joke between us. Well, not really inside, but whatever. But yeah, so uh, what were we talking about?
Diet.
There we go. Yeah, so my diet is pretty, yeah, it's pretty bland. It's boring, but it gets results pretty fast. A little bit of fasting in there as well. Of my cutoff times. Sometimes I have eaten like my cutoff is at 7. But sometimes I have like I gotta eat and it's after 7. So I've done that. But for the most part, I've been consistently with stop eating at 7, not eating again till 9 o'clock in the morning. Even though sometimes I've gone like a little longer. Um, and yeah, and just like I've got rid of fast food completely. I really haven't had any red meat. There have been like 3 occasions in this month where I had red meat, but it's only been like one meal.
Yeah, or like a little snack.
Yeah,
Because we had those empanadas and it was like a little bite.
right. Supposed to be 4 of them.
Yeah.
That was another thing with with the restaurant though. But with that anyway. So yeah, so my diet has been pretty grotesque, but it's been getting.
Grotesque. You don't like it?
Is that the word? No, I used the wrong word. Not
Oh.
grotesque. What I want to say. I don't want to say strict again. I think I was looking for another word to say.
No. Like
Um,
rigorous?
yeah, there you go. I couldn't say. I wouldn't say rigorous either. I'm not. I'll just go back to strict.
Okay.
Uh, like I said, my diet has been pretty strict, but it has gotten results, and I also like. I actually do feel like I have like a lot more energy. Even though like my legs hurt. But yeah, and so then after this month, I'm gonna open back up to have some red meat, maybe throw some fast food in there from time to time. But it's really just you know trying to cut all this stuff out, um, just to to be strict and then kind of loosen up and see it. Hopefully, I don't go crazy. How about you? What is your diet consisting of?
So I'm still pretty much doing the same thing I was at the beginning, which is just trying to focus on increasing my protein. And I think right now I'm averaging out at about 70 grams of protein. Um, I think that's how they calculate it. Yeah. Um, I have had fast food this month.
Mhm.
I had White Castle and Portillo's twice.
Bubble gut.
No, because I had the shrimp. We had this discussion
And
already. On Fridays, I'm trying to eat fish because it's Lent. So I had the shrimp from White Castle on Friday, and then the Friday before that, I had Portillo's, a fish sandwich from Portillo's. So yeah, I've had fast food a couple times, and then we ate at a restaurant the other night. But I try and pick like the healthiest options on the menu. Um, and then I've had Z Eats, I guess is what they call it now. I had it was actually a pretty good sandwich. It was like a turkey club grilled cheese sandwich. It had avocado, like spinach, tomato, turkey. So it was actually pretty good. It was healthy or healthy-ish for a sandwich. So yeah, I've ordered a couple times just because of work, but mostly I've been trying to just eat like today we made a salad and then I'll be able to take that to work tomorrow and then Wednesday eat a salad again. And um
that's the meal prep for the week, right?
yeah, and then I'm having my oatmeal with extra protein in it, the protein
Mm,
oatmeal in the morning
mm.
to get some protein in, and then of course my Greek yogurt, so protein for that. And then I've just been drinking water. Um Trying to think what else have I had? I've had like 2 coffees a week, but they're smalls, and I don't really even finish all of them. And I'm trying to think if I think I had lemonade, but I can't remember what day it was that I had lemonade.
So one day, yeah, lemonade.
Yeah, because 'cause I've been trying not to drink sugary drinks. Cause like,
I
that was,
get you.
like, my thing, I would, like, drink Korean apple juice all the time, and I'm like, I love lemonade from McDonald's, so I would, like, go through the drive-thru and get, like, a large lemonade or go to Wendy's and get one of their lemonades, so I haven't had any sugary drinks. So I feel like that's really helped too. I feel less bloated lately. I did have sugar the other day, like the brookie from Insomnia
Oh
cookie.
yeah. Oh yeah. I
But I
did.
didn't even finish that. I still haven't
I
finished
was gonna
mine.
say, yeah, I killed mine yesterday.
Yeah, I still haven't finished mine. So I feel like that's good because that was one of my things I wanted to like really crave or curb my craving for sugar. So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good. My diet's pretty much going to stay consistent the way it is now. I think it's going to be a lot easier as the weather gets warmer for me to continue to eat light. I feel like wintertime when it's cold outside, you just want to eat heavy stuff because it keeps you warm. But I'll be good throwing stuff on the grill, like throwing some chicken or fish on the grill, throwing like zucchini or something on the grill, and just like keeping it really light. So yeah, I'm feeling good about my diet. Um,
I get you. And I was
I
gonna,
just feel like I'm gonna eat more sweets as it gets warmer because I'm gonna want to stop and get ice cream and like when you out like hanging out with people getting dessert and stuff like that. So we'll see. But so far I'm doing pretty good, and I'll also cut alcohol out, so I haven't had any alcohol this month either, which is really good. So
nah, that's what I was about to bring up. Like I haven't cut out alcohol, but I've definitely limited to just one day a week to really go crazy. I don't really have like the cravings for like I'm thirsty a lot, but I'm cool with just drinking water. Um, so like sugary drinks and stuff like is all right, but alcohol
it
is
was last Thursday that I had the lemonade. I remember. So I went to Five Below when I was at work. And I grabbed a smart water, which I downed like the whole thing in like 5 minutes because I was thirsty. And after I finished that, then I drank my lemonade. But that helped me because I was already full from the water, so I didn't finish the whole thing.
mm.
What?
'Cause you was really trying to think about that one
Yeah, because
day
I was
that you
trying to
had
figure
a
out the one
lemonade.
day. Yeah, I know it was last Thursday because last Thursday was a crazy day at work. You remember I told you all about it. So I was like, I need something sweet.
Hmm.
So I had that.
Okay. So how are you holding yourself accountable for um
Just still using my Samsung Health app, so I'm just tracking like my calories every day. So like inputting all of my meals for the day to make sure that I'm keeping under target. Which right now my range is about 1,500 calories a day, and I have not been hitting that consistently. It's been less than that, which I don't know how healthy that is. Except for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I did hit 1,500 calories both of those days. But mostly I've been ranging around like 1,100 to 1,200 calories per day. So that's keeping me accountable as far as that, and then just making sure I can close as many of my circles on my watch as possible. So my steps goals is about 10,000. I have not been necessarily hitting that goal every day, but my active minutes and calories burned during activity, I've been hitting those goals every day. So yeah. What about you, babe?
pretty much the same. I use my phone, but you did give me this nice little watch here, so I can start using that. I just because I just got it like maybe a week ago,
Yeah.
if even. Um, my phone has just more information that I've been using.
What are you using to track your steps on
It's
your
a
phone?
it's a it's a fitness. My phone's it's a fitness app that I've had, so it always like
It's not the Samsung app.
mm, no, this is a different app. Like I've had it because I didn't. It's been a while. Like
Why don't you use your Samsung Health app?
I didn't even know about its existence. I've been using
You
another
should
app.
download your Samsung Health app.
Uh,
That'll be better. I mean, I don't know what this fitness app is, so I can't say if it'll be better, but it'll be more synced because you have a Samsung phone and you have a Samsung watch now.
no, I get you. It's just like I said, I've been using this app for a while, so it's just like all right. So I hadn't planned on using the
Well, it
watch.
just tracks your steps though, right?
Well, yeah, that, and you can enter in like your weight, so it gives you like recommendations, like you should do this, you should do that. Are you currently working out? And it'll show you like this week you've burned this many more calories than the
But they
previous.
estimate it because they don't know your heart
Yeah,
rate.
yeah, but like I
This
said,
will give you a more accurate
I get it. But
information.
like I said, I just want to finish it, and then I plan on using like the watch and getting more stuff next month. But since
No, I
it's
know what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, since you're still using the other one, like, maybe use the app too, so you can kind of compare
uh,
to see which one is picking up more or more accuracy. Because you could be burning more calories in a day than you actually think you are.
at the end of the day, my main thing is when I step on that scale.
Yeah, but
What does it look like? So yeah.
okay, sure.
All right. So have you been looking into any health education?
Yeah, I have been. So, I went down kind of like a rabbit hole on TikTok and then on YouTube too, just about diet and how like eating certain foods or like calorie deficit versus like or burning fat versus trying to build muscle and like how to do that. And I really wasn't quite understanding at first because I was just focusing on doing a calorie deficit. But it's like really if you want to gain muscle, you actually have to eat more each day so that your muscles can have some energy to rebuild on. So so I'm like, well, I kind of got to focus on what I want to do to my body first and then figure out what the next steps is. So your diet actually has to fluctuate. And a lot of them suggested like going into a calorie deficit for a while till you get your body fat percentage to a certain amount. And then after that, going in and eating more so that you can start to build muscle. And that's where you go in and like really do a lot more like weightlifting and things like that. I'm not doing as much cardio because I don't have that much body fat to lose. Um, so mostly my cardio is for like heart health, I guess, to kind of like get my BP M's down during rest mode. And I guess I learned like the more muscle you have in your body, the higher your caloric rate is. So that means your body will be burning more calories each day. So it's like that's good to know. And I just got some tips from like people on like how many sets to do in order to start like breaking down muscles so that way you can actually start seeing your body change over the weeks and months versus just going in the gym and doing 3 sets of 12 or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
so just kind of get, and obviously I've been sticking with black people, specifically black women, um, for advice versus the others. What about you, babe? Yeah. Most of the people that I've been going to for advice, I've been like black women exercise or black women diet tips or like nutrition or dietitians, things like that. So, and just trying to find like healthier protein sources. So I feel like every time I put in protein and like add it to my calorie counter, like so much stuff has fat in it. I'm like, it not all of it's bad fat because obviously like avocado, I've been trying to eat that and it has good fat, but a lot of it has like a lot of fat in it. So.
Yeah, I haven't been doing any research or anything. I've just been doing all trial and error. So whatever seems to work, that's what I'm gonna go and stick to. The good thing is like coming from like an athletic background, there's just like even though I'm not young anymore, so I can't do like the same thing. Um, I have like learned a couple of I learned a couple of things like in the past that that could work. Now, even though I'm not training for like football anymore or doing any basketball, like okay, these still can help for like the goal. So right now I'm kind of doing like more uh basketball training, which is just more running, and then just a couple of weights. But next month, like I said, is when it changes, and like there'll probably be more weights, and definitely like a lot less running. Like right now, my current like step goal, 6,000 steps. I'm like beating that. Like I'm like at 15,000. So I'm probably gonna scale it back to like maybe like 10,000. But then, like I said, do a lot more weights and and probably try to see your thing about the pretty much lift till you can't lift anymore, and that's when the muscles start working. So I'll probably give that like a little shot and see how that goes. But yeah, start building muscle. Like I said, once I hit my goal weight, then well, not my goal weight, but my goal weight of weight loss, because once you put on muscle is heavier than fat, so you're gonna gain that muscle back, or you're gonna gain that weight back, but should be healthy muscle.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm trying to like do the body fat percentage because I'm like, I don't really know my ideal weight because the BMI is not made for black bodies, it's made for white bodies. So me being almost 5'8", and it's like I think the window ideal weight range for me is between like 120, which is fucking ridiculous, and like 150.
uh,
So I'm like, my dream weight would probably be like 155. So like I just want to lose probably like 15 more pounds. But I'm like, if I look good as far as like toned up, legs look good, booty looks good, stomach and like core and everything like really strong, and I'm at still like 160, then I'm okay with that too. Because that matters more to me than the actual number on the scale.
yeah, I get
So,
you.
and that's another thing I'm working on right now. It's like really strengthening my core. So I've been doing like a lot of core exercises. So I guess it's supposed to like help with like posture and things like that. And I'm like, I really need that since I'm standing on my feet a lot of times at work all day long. So
No, I get you. Plus, yeah, plus sometimes you get too skinny, you look sick, and you don't want to look sick. You got this little body and this big old head, so
who you?
no, that's what you would be.
I don't have a big old head. So I was
Mm,
skinny for most of my life
let's
and
we'll put a poll up at the end of the How big is her head?
there's a camera. We literally can see whose head is bigger.
Yes, but it's symmetrical to my body. Um,
Is it?
very, very much
That
so.
forehead though.
It is shiny.
It's
I ain't even gonna
crazy.
hold you. Anyway, um,
All right. Anything else you got to say about working out? You want to move on to the next topic?
now let's move on to the next topic.
All right, sounds good. All right, so moving on to our next topic, I wanted to talk all about traveling because I feel like we've done a lot of traveling together since we've gotten together. and it's almost summertime. Like it's spring, so spring break for a lot of schools. A lot of people are going on trips right now, so that's pretty much all people are talking about around me. So I just kind of wanted to talk about how do you feel about traveling, or you know.
Mm. Well, first I would say first year dating, we did not travel. I don't think we traveled at all.
No, we didn't travel. Well, you didn't go anywhere.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't go.
I went to Orlando. Yeah,
Think,
I
yeah,
went to Universal Studios that year.
I didn't even know. Yeah, did I go? Did I go? Like, I think I maybe went to like Indiana or something at furthest,
Did you?
or Wisconsin. I don't know. I went to like a neighbor thing. I don't know. I'm sure I went somewhere, but I know it wasn't really anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think you went anywhere the first year that we dated.
Possibly.
Mm-mm. But last year we went on 3 trips,
Yeah.
and this year we have 3 planned. So, I mean, that's a lot.
But yeah, typically I love traveling. Plane, train, automobile. Like however to get me to wherever. That's what I'm gonna take, and that's where I'm gonna go. So
I
hmm?
I said I know.
Yeah, I walk.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the bus.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've taken the bus all the way to Florida, a Greyhound bus, 24 hours on that bus to Florida. So yeah, and I'll do it
The
again.
person who doesn't like layovers took a 24-hour bus ride to Florida.
Well, first of all,
That's crazy.
I was freshly 21. So like,
Still, your stance on layovers is crazy, but you could do a long ass bus ride.
no, once again, I was freshly 21, and literally I just came up with that plan that day, and the bus was the most affordable.
So you didn't have a stance about layovers back then, is what you're trying to say.
No, I probably would have had a layover back then, but now, like, especially the more you travel and the more you get older, I like flying directly to where I want to go.
No, I totally get it, but if I had to get a layover, I would take it. Like we have to have a layover when we go to Mexico.
Is there a layover?
Mm-hmm. There's a layover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's a little bit of a layover.
It's like a couple hours in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On the way there, and I think it's even longer on the way back.
Trying to kill me. But yeah, no. The one thing that you did bring up about layovers, though, that was that maybe you can get out and kind of explore the city or whatever.
No.
If it's like a couple hours.
No.
Oh, so you just.
I've never left the airport for a layover
So you
because
just chilling in the airport for 2, 3, 4 hours.
there's restaurants. There's whole restaurants to go to. So you sit down, you order you a real meal, eat,
And then what do you do?
tip the servers, and then you go find your gate. You sit down, you put a movie on, and you watch it. But usually by then I'm ready to board the plane.
Oh my! Exactly, and you still gotta wait.
I'm not leaving the airport to go back through fucking security. And then you gotta go back, get a ticket printed out and shit. Like, or I don't know how. I've never left the airport for a layover, so I don't even know how that shit works.
Okay.
Never.
You had brought that up before. I didn't just think about that.
Some people do that. Like they'll have like a layover where they have to be there like for 12 hours or something like that. So I know people do it. I've never done it.
Okay.
Have you done it?
Yeah, I know.
No.
I would be the person who missed this flight. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm in this state that I wasn't even planning on being in. So yeah, no, I would never do
But
it.
it is a thing, you know that, right? Where people buy tickets with a layover in the city that they want to go to. And because sometimes it's cheaper to do the layover and then they'll just get off the plane. You can't check bags.
Yeah,
you can't check a bag.
So you just walk.
You have to do carry on, or you have to do like a personal item. And then once you get off, then you just leave the airport. You never get on that connecting flight.
Yeah, no, I would just feel that looks suspicious.
Well, airport or airlines don't like it. They actually start banning people from doing that. Like if people get caught doing it, they ban them from buying tickets for their airline.
I'm already home.
Right, but some people, it's a lot of people who do it. It was like a thing on TikTok last year. People were talking about doing it, and of course, like I said, they gave you the rules. Like obviously, you cannot check a bag because your checked bag will go to a different state where you're going. So only take a carry-on or a personal item.
Okay. Nah, I get that, but it's just well, yeah, I didn't know you could get banned, but I mean, I can see how that makes sense, but at the same time, it's just like
It's a word for it too. I can't remember the term that they use for it,
plain
but
hop,
no, I don't think that's it. But
plain hop off.
I don't think
I have no idea.
so.
I'm just putting words
I know.
together. Well, to talk about travel, do you have like a dream destination or a place that you would ever want to go?
Yeah, so I actually do. So if I don't have any more kids, because my son is almost, well, he is 15, so he'll be grown in a couple of years. It's to travel Europe. Like I would really like to just take like after I turn 40. So obviously not right away. I would still have a few years to like save up. Once he's like out of school and I'm not paying tuition anymore. Excuse me. Um, yeah, to go. Are you okay?
Go, yeah, go, keep going. You good?
Why are you smiling?
Doesn't matter. Just go. There's nothing. So,
Okay. So I would like to go to Europe. That would be my dream. Like to save up money for like 3 years and then like do a sabbatical from work or just quit altogether. Um and yeah, just go to Europe. Like there's this one podcast I listen to and the one girl is doing it now. She's pretty much renting an apartment in England, like I think it's London, and then she's like going like she went to Ireland for a week and then she's going like Germany and going to Italy. Like I would like to do that where like I have like a home base where I stay for like a year and then I go and spend like 2 or 3 weeks like traveling all around Italy or traveling through Spain or traveling like all around Europe and then, you know, come back to the United States, work again for a little bit and then do the same thing, like maybe like throughout the Caribbeans or even Africa. So yeah, that's my dream to just live and like really embrace and like put myself into these different places for an extended period of time versus like going for like a week. So,
mhm.
what about you, babe?
um, so my dream, just islands. You know what I mean? Like, just go to different islands and
Japan. That
and
was your dream
I was
trip.
that was coming. That was coming.
Oh,
Uh, and then yeah, turn around Asia. Definitely want to go to Japan and check out like in some of the places in like China. Like I want to go wherever they got the Mario Kart on the real street roads. I want to go there. I want to do that. I want to eat. I want to go to a ramen building of authentic ramen and see what they got because they got those at like their 7-Eleven equivalents of 7-Eleven out there. So
yeah.
that, but initially would be islands first, like just
What
and
islands?
I don't even want to do anything on these islands. I just want to be on the beach in some clear ass water. Um, truthfully, all of them, Caribbean, whatever's in South America, whatever's on the uh, I guess that's just Hawaii. Uh,
So like just the islands on the west coast, like on
well,
the
no, because
western hemisphere.
even some of the ones that we know about, the ones that we know about and are sure are safe in Asia. Um, I actually had a friend just come back from somewhere out there, but I can't. I want. It was like Malaysia or something like that, literally. But I can't think of the name of the island that she had went to. But it looked dope. It looked amazing, and she looked like she had a lot of fun. And I was just like, I want to go there.
Who's
And
this person?
it's my brother's friend. You had met her before. You met her at you met her at
That's
his.
crazy that we're talking about females going on vacation, and you checking out their pictures. How about they had a good time? That's wild.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just literally you met her at my brother's birthday
I don't
party.
care.
Okay, so I'll show you. Well, I don't know
I
if they
didn't
not.
see
It
the
was
pictures.
okay. It
It's
was
wild, yeah.
anyway. Yeah. So that looked pretty dope. So it's just like yeah. So any islands and Japan. I don't like the way you look at them.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay, never mind. We'll be mature here. So yeah, so that would be my dream destination, and I will let you know.
With her?
No, with you. I would hope
Oh,
you would
okay.
be by my side during all this island hopping. But I will say I do not want to. I wouldn't want to be there any longer. Any too long. Like my limit is probably like 2 weeks, and then I want to go back home, be in my bed for a little bit, and then you know maybe a month later go back out and travel again. I don't want to be anywhere.
What kind of unlimited funds you get?
I don't have no unlimited funds. I'm just saying, like in
So
my
you're saying you would want to fly out of the country, go somewhere for a week, and then fly
2 weeks.
back to the United States, and then
No,
wait 4 weeks, and then fly back, and then go for a week or two, and then fly back to the United States. That
I'm
sounds
not. I
terrible.
wasn't saying that. I'm saying, like, first of all, I would go to that place for 2 weeks, wherever. Since
Uh-huh.
we'll go with Japan. I would want to go to Japan for like 2 weeks. Come back. Now it ain't gotta be just like it wouldn't have to be just like a month. It could be longer, but I would at least need to be back like a month before I traveled again. If I had unlimited funds,
So you couldn't do like 6 months in Asia. Like you couldn't go and spend like 2 months in South Korea, 2 months in Japan, 2 months
and I'm coming
in
back,
China,
and I'm
and
with
then we come
the
back.
agenda of coming back home.
Yeah, after we spend 6 months there. So like let's just say we went from like, I don't know, February to August, and then we come back and we stay here because that'll be holiday time.
That wouldn't be ideal for me. I'd do it with you, but that wouldn't be ideal for me. No.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. I mean, that was one of my questions that I had to ask, which is what's the perfect length for vacation?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to segue into that. I was going to ask you
Mhm.
that. Yeah. So you would want to do like months then, like
Yeah, I mean, if I don't have any children to come home to, why not? I think that that's the beautiful part about it. It's like you get to be wherever you want to be, and you get to stay there you get to live there and actually be there, and get to know the place, eat the food, get to know the people, the language, and things like that, and like actually experience the culture. And like that's the important part about traveling. A lot of times when people go on vacations, you go for such a small amount of time, like you don't really get to see and do everything. So I feel like if I'm gonna go and travel the world and like not go, I guess I should take the word back because I get what you're saying. You're seeing it as a vacation, and I'm not saying it as a vacation. I'm saying is I want to travel to these places and be there,
yeah.
not vacation there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was under the explanation of vacation, so it's just like, yeah, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
No, I get it, but kind of the topic that I brought up was about traveling the world, like traveling to different places
Mm,
and not just vacationing. But I get what you're saying. Like you would want to go on vacation and not be there for a long time.
yeah, I just want to, like I said, a small experience of it, and not feel like 2 weeks is, it's kind of long, but it's not really long. Like it's long enough to me. Like what? I bought this nice bed that got my right dentures and what is it? Indentations. It's got my right indentations on it. Um, and it's just comfortable to me. So I would want to be in that. But I'm enjoying this town. The sake is good. I'm gonna be leaving on Friday.
No, I get it.
Mm,
Mhm. Anything else about timeline?
no.
Is there anything that's too short?
Too short. Honestly, yeah, I've gone places, Saturday, Sunday, and then you leave like well road trips mainly. It's like you road trip there and you're just there all day Saturday, and then you're back up leaving on Sunday, and it's just like I didn't need this. I should have just stayed home.
Really?
Yeah,
I feel like I would be okay with that if it was like a short drive. Like if it was like if it was less than 3 hours, I would be okay with it.
this is
So do like a
seven.
drive, like get up early in the morning, go 3 hours, be there the rest of the day, stay the night, wake up the next day, spend the whole day there, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and then drive back.
Yeah, no, that sounds nice. This is a 7 hour, 8 hour drive.
Oh, no, God, no. Why would
I
you drive that far to go for 24 hours?
had to. It's for family.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's too short of a time window unless I was going for like an important thing, like I had to go there to do something specifically. But as for leisurely travel, no, I'm not driving that far for fun.
No, well, that's the thing. Well, yeah, it was kind of for fun. So,
So it wasn't a family thing.
because it was like our reunion.
Right, that's something you didn't have to go to the
Exactly.
reunion.
That's what I'm saying. So it was more leisure because I didn't have to go.
Well, you could have stayed longer though. You chose to come
It
back.
would have. It was gonna end on Sunday, so I was just like, let me go.
You didn't have any place to stay after that?
Yeah, nah, I was at a hotel.
Oh, and they kicked y'all out after Sunday? You couldn't stay until Monday?
Nah, cheap hotel. I could have stayed. Truthfully, I could have bought the whole room for a week.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You could have stayed longer. You chose not to.
Yeah.
That's a choice thing.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, it was pretty much over Sunday. So why would I? So, yeah, there was no point in staying because if not, then Monday I was just gonna leave at like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning
Because
I wanted to go.
so you didn't want to be there is what we're getting at.
Yeah,
Okay, then just say that then, because you're beating around the bush like you saying like
because my family might watch this.
I don't know why we're all grown ups. Don't go places you don't want to go. Like like I said, a cousin passed away. I don't go to funerals. I'm not going to her funeral. I don't want to go.
But are you doing anything for the cousin?
What do you mean? Am I doing anything for her?
Ain't you serving food?
Yeah, at the repast. I was planning on going to the repast.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to the funeral. I don't go to funerals. So I'm not going. And if my family had a family reunion that I had to drive someplace that I didn't want to go, I'm not going. There's been several family reunions that have been on the south side of Chicago. I'm not going. Sorry. My grandma be mad, but I don't care. She'll get over it. She old.
Okay.
She had a lot of disappointments in life. One more ain't gonna hurt her.
Well, sorry. I chose. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna show my face. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. All right, y'all.
That's a hell of a show your face. A
Yes.
7-hour drive.
The thing is, it's never the drive there. It's always the drive back that gets me. I truly don't mind. I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind the drive at all. I to do it, but it was just like, I didn't need it.
I've done a 14-hour drive in one day though. I've driven to Nashville and back in one day 4 times. So I can understand it. But podcast got me through it.
Yeah.
I just put a good podcast on. I got some good episodes, some good true crime episodes, and the drive flew by.
No, it was I get that. When I drove to Atlanta, I mean it was music for me. And that got me through. And like the crazy thing is because I think I left at like 4 in the afternoon here, and I got there at like 6 o'clock their time. And the friend's house that I was going to stay at was asleep, and I didn't know how to get in, so I like slept in my car in their
Because
driveway.
they weren't answering the door?
Nah. So
That's
it's just like
rude.
that. Yeah, but like when they got up, because like they even had a dog, and I didn't even hear their dog. So
You
it's
was
just
late.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, because he came out to walk his dog, and he saw my car, and he came
And
over
he
to
knew
it,
you were
and he
coming
saw
at
me.
6 o'clock in the morning, or no?
He didn't know the time. He just knew because, like, I was driving most of the time, so I was just like, I gave him like little
Why did you
updates
choose to drive at night? I guess I'm curious.
because I do everything last minute. So I had like a hair appointment. Then I had to like, and there was like some other stuff. I think I had to finish packing. I had to go shopping. So I did all that. And by the time I finished, it was 4 o'clock, and then it was just like, all right, let me hit the road.
I was taught to do the opposite. I was taught to do my driving at night in the state that I grew up in, which is Illinois. So I'm the opposite of you. So I would actually, like when I drove to Florida, I left here, like Illinois, around like 3 a.m. And I did most of my driving through Illinois while it was still dark. By the time the sun started to rise, I was heading into Kentucky. And now I had the rest of the day in unfamiliar territory to finish my driving through.
Nah.
I still ended up making it to Florida at night. It was like 10 o'clock at night, which was scary driving through Alabama at
Hmm.
night and having to stop to ask for directions and not knowing if these people are going to hang me on a tree
Hmm.
or give me directions.
I seen them Confederate flags.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I get you. So it was like,
And I had no cell phone service. So that was the worst part. Like I was somewhere where I
yeah,
had no cell phone service. And I was just like, if I die tonight, nobody will know where I am.
now that part is scary, especially when you do it, because like that was happening with me with like, because I had just my GPS up, and sometimes it'd be like signal loss, and it'd be like, all right,
Mhm.
it's gonna connect again, it's not connecting again, and it's just like, and now it's like there's a turn coming up, and it's not really showing me
Where?
where anymore. So
That's
it's
what
just
ended up
like,
happening to me. That's why I ended up having to go to a gas station and I had to ask for directions. And I was just like, and luckily, the person that was in the gas station was really nice. They told me which, like, to keep going. They told me that when I see a certain time, I would be getting ready to cross the bridge. And then that bridge was like, welcome to Florida. And I was like, okay, cool.
mhm,
So, yeah,
I got
crazy
it.
time.
So speaking about this, what has been like one of your like best vacations?
Best?
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a best vacation yet.
No,
No.
there's not been one that you've been on that you enjoyed more than the rest that you've been on.
No, I think they've all been pretty equal. So, yeah.
Mm.
Have you had a best vacation so far?
Oh, it's truly a tie between going to Vegas and going to Miami. Um, Miami was really good just because it was like a guys trip, so it's like just me and the guys, and we were young. Like I said, we were 21, 22 at the time. So I think, well, yeah, both trips to Miami. I went to Miami twice, 2 years in a row. And then I went to Vegas, like literally a couple years ago, like maybe 2022. And that was just cool because it was with like all my friends. We had all went, and so we just had like we just had a ball of a time. We had, we went what's the thing called that you ride on?
ATV?
ATVing. We did like karaoke night. We found like these super cool, like low key bar. This is in Vegas. These super cool, like low key bars and stuff that were, really good music. We ended up, going to like some random club, and Lil John was the DJ. Um, and Miami was, like I said, the first time was just because it was just so spontaneous. Like I said, it was like a idea that I had. I think it was a Sunday afternoon, and by Sunday night, I got my best friend at the time, Javier, and he was just like, I'm down, and we just like by 7 o'clock, we were getting on a Greyhound, heading to Chattanooga, Tennessee. um, well, that was one of the stops of my
Mhm.
many. But yeah, and then the second time was I actually flew down there, and it was like it was I forgot what we called ourselves. Um, we had we had a crew name, but I can't think of the crew name. But it was like me and my three other guys, and me and three other guys, and like I said, I think this is one of the funniest. This is how bad it was. So me and my one friend, his name was Yasser. We flew down earlier than my other two friends, they're Steve and Javier. We flew down probably. I think we arrived in Miami at like 3. Steve and Yasser they didn't get into like 6 or something like that. When I say,
Did y'all
oh
fly
no, I'm sorry.
into Miami?
Me and Yash, yeah, we flew into Miami. We were literally like we weren't too far because we stayed on Collins Streets, which is a block away from Ocean
Mhm.
Boulevard. Um, so me and Yasser get there like 3. We get into the hotel, and we just go out like immediately. Um, and this is like I said, we were young at this time, literally like maybe 22, 21, going on 22, something like that. No, it had to be 22. Maybe 22 going on 23. And so um one of my last memories was we were at this outside little bar club thing. We were outside. They were like they were doing like some kind of thing like, $3 shots or something like that. My last memory is I took the shot and then I woke up in a hotel room with Steve and Javier like knocking on our door.
Wait,
Like
you took this shot at 3 o'clock?
I took this shot at maybe like 4.
Oh, okay.
So that should just let you know, like, we probably landed at like 2, got to the room at 3. And pretty much from there we started partying. Um and like I said, I don't remember
That
what
sounds terrible.
you know what? It's
You
crazy.
didn't even you didn't even have fun. Did you have fun?
I think I remember having fun, and then I
A
remember
couple hours later, you were on a bed
I
unconscious.
was on my bed. Like at some point, we went back to the hotel room and went to sleep, and and we woke up like Steve and Yasha because we all were like sharing a hotel room. So Steve and Yasser or Steve and Javier were like just banging at the door, and it was just like I just woke up like how am I
So
here?
I'm confused on this timeline because you said they landed at 6. So that means that they probably got to the hotel room at what, like 7?
So it could have been 7, yeah.
So you mean in 2 hours you were unconscious?
In 2 hours we had party like because like I said, I remember us going to buy liquor. I remember us like walking
What
down.
were y'all drinking?
You- my
Because
order.
I've gone to Miami and drank the entire time I was there, and I certainly wasn't unconscious. I was drunk every single day that I was there,
I don't know.
and I certainly wasn't unconscious within 2
When I
hours.
said I'm not, that's what gets me. That's why I'm like, yo, this is crazy, and it's funny. It's like I don't know what happened, but in
Isn't
like
it
a
funny?
in a 2 to 3 hour span, like we went, like I
Because
said, we
that's like alcohol poisoning. It
no,
sounds
but
like.
I wasn't sick or anything. I just truly like because even when I got up, it was like I was just a little groggy, and then we just started partying again, like Steve and Javier here. So let's start up again. Then we pretty much did the same thing. But then, like the one thing about guys trip is you always lose a friend. So it's like even later that night was like we lost. I think we lost Javier, who ended up getting walked back. I'm gonna share your story, bro. Uh, I'm gonna share your story, bro. Like he ended up getting walked back to our hotel room by a hooker. Because the dude at the guest was like, oh yeah, I thought he was trying to pay the room for like by an hour, but then I remembered that he came in. He came in. His name was on one of the reservations. Was on the reservation too for the room. So yeah, but we ended up losing Javier, and we didn't notice until we were walking home, or we were walking back to the hotel, which was like literally like 2 or 3 in the morning. And so we stayed out longer, like we were probably out till 5, but we can't find him. We
He
go
didn't
on.
have a phone.
Uh, it was probably dead or something. I can't remember. He had a phone, but I think it was like dead or something. We couldn't get in touch with him, so we pretty much gave us like 5 in the morning. We're still a little tipsy, so we go back to the hotel. This dude is passed out in front of the door
So he couldn't get in the room.
because he didn't have a key. Because me and I forgot who had. I know I had a key. Josh or Steve probably had a key. I can't remember. We had 2 keys, and me and somebody else had a key, but not Javier. So yeah, so we get back to the room and we just see like you don't really notice him at first. You just see like wow, kind of drunk. So I didn't really see him at first. It just looked like a little bump in the rug. But I'm like, okay. And as you get closer, it's like it's a body. This dude is just passed out in front of the room. And so it's like, it was a relief because it's like, ooh, there's Javier and he's alive. So it's just like, yeah. But
Because he could have been dead.
yeah, and when I say every night we lost somebody. So it's like Steve went missing. I went missing, but I went missing for like literally. There was a lot of stuff that happened on the trip, which is like this is a great story to go back to. I ended up running from like this like pimp and transvestite, or transgender woman. I'm not, yeah, transgender woman. So it's just like, yeah. And so that's where I was like, all right, I'm not going missing ever again. So I like called him and dad, and Yasser met me.
Why were you running from?
Because the pimp said I was taking too much of his girl's time. And I was like, and then I noticed like your girls, at the time I'm young, I don't know no better. Like your girl's a man, and then he started saying stuff, and then I just took off running. I was also kind of drunk.
What were y'all doing? What were y'all talking about?
I don't know. I was kind of drunk.
And you were talking to a prostitute?
Because most of the time, like when I'm a talkative person, so I'm like, okay, what's to do around here? What place?
So you walked up to a random prostitute?
I don't walk
and
up.
asked her what to do around here?
So we were me and this dude Steve, because this was like we kept breaking off into twos, coming back, and it was like a big mix and match. Me and Steve were like literally we were like literally walking down the street, and we had stopped, and then like I guess we stopped in front of this like bar, and then like these two women came out. And so it was just like, okay, we trying to find like a certain place, or I can't remember. We were trying to find a certain place that a waitress or something had told us about. So, so we get to talking to these two women that came out.
Why are you doing quote?
Because
they identify as women.
So
two women.
So two women walk out. So two women walk out, and we ended up talking. We were trying to find this place. And then, some conversations went little other places. And then sometimes you start to notice stuff and you're like, all right, I need to get out of here. Then when a man comes in a red suit, and when a man comes in a red suit saying that you're taking too much of his girl's time, and you're like, okay, well, first of all, I don't think this girl was born a girl. But you're right, sir. And I'm gonna get out of here as fast as possible.
And then you ran.
And then I ran.
Mm-hmm.
And not too far behind me was Steve. So that's like I said, and there's a lot of stuff missing from that story. But some of these stories I cannot tell. But what about you?
What?
Was this one of you got any crazy or good vacation stories, or a very bad experience with vacation?
The highs and lows for all of my vacations. I feel like my first vacation as an adult was spring break when I was a freshman in college at FAMU. And I went to Daytona Beach, and we had a great time until we got stranded. And then I ended up pretty much, we were homeless all day long. We would like go to the hotel, check in, shower, go eat, sleep, wake up in the morning because they kick you out at like 10 o'clock. And then we would literally just be on the beach as fucking bums until we could check into the next hotel, or if our car was ready by then. And it wasn't ready, so then we ended up actually taking a Greyhound bus back to school. Because we were supposed to have been back Monday, and we didn't end up getting back until Wednesday. So I remember my English teacher gave me a C- in her class because I had 3 unexcused absences, even though I told her hey, I was stranded in Daytona. I couldn't get back to school. And she said they were still on the excuse. So it's pretty shitty. Yeah. And I've been to Miami twice. I did a cruise that was pretty good. Disney, Universal Studios, driven to Panama City and back, driven to Nashville and back several times. So, and then the road trips that we've taken. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They all got good parts, and they all got some dark parts.
I get you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's talk about safety on vacations, because I like to listen to my one podcast called Staycation, which pretty much talks about people going on vacation and getting killed or going missing, or like someone ends, like they end up killing their partner or something like that. And one thing that happens every time that we've gone on vacation is you like to disappear by yourself to go exploring alone.
I like to go on short walks. Yes,
Yeah, and I don't think that's safe,
I get you.
because I literally just told you this morning about, or earlier today, that I listened to the podcast episode this morning. They were talking about a couple that went on vacation to Cancun, and the couple ended up separating, and the husband ended up dead. And it's like, they were talking about what's the takeaway. It's like, don't split up on vacation. Stay with the person that you came with. Like, stay in groups. Don't go off by yourself, because you could end up dead or missing.
If it was meant,
Presumed dead.
if it was meant to be, it was meant to be. But I
guess.
sometimes
just gotta get a good life insurance policy out on you then.
But no, I like I said, if I'm somewhere, especially somewhere I've never been before, I want to explore this city.
But not alone.
Well,
Why do you have to explore
Well,
alone is the part that I'm
Well,
confused.
when I say it's like,
No one's saying you can't explore it, but why do you have to do it by yourself?
well, it's I would like I would love of you to come with me.
Yeah, but I would literally be like, I'm gonna take a shower. You'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go walk around while you're in the shower. And it's like, why can't you just wait for me
Get
to
away
be
until
done?
you get out of the shower. I think you wanted to take a nap. And so it's just like, oh, okay, well, I'm not really tired, so I'm gonna go. Like specifically, like we're talking about Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Puerto Rico. You were like, I think you want to take a shower, then you wanted to take a nap, and so at that point, it's like, well, I'm not really tired. Like I'm actually, like I get excited on vacation, so it's just.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think you think about it the other way around, because it's like, at the end of the day, like, let's just say something did happen to you while we were in Puerto Rico. I'm now there in Puerto Rico by myself, trying to figure out where you are, what happened to you. And it's like, I feel like that's like, you don't think about that part. You think about, well, if it's my time, it's my time. But it's like, that's fine. You're dead, but I have to deal with it.
No. So that's just a joke. But literally, I do keep a range on how far that I go.
Yeah, that doesn't stop people from, oh, you look like a tourist and you're by yourself. Like, remember though, that one crazy dude when we were in the, what was it, Walgreens or CVS? Remember the one dude I told you, like, y'all literally standing there talking, and then I feel like everywhere we went after that, we fucking ran into those people.
We went into him one more time.
I think we ran into him like 3 times.
I feel like it was just the one time when we came back from the excursion.
But either way it goes, they made me uncomfortable, and I just feel like people like that can tell if you're a tourist. They might think like, oh, they might have money on them since they're vacationing, or they're not from around here, so nobody will know. And then they see you by yourself, and then all of a sudden you become a victim.
Oh, I get you on that. I truly do see your reasoning on that, but at the same time, like I that's why I keep a cap on how far. Like I just keep it in a 3-4 block radius. So it's like a 8 block stretch. So if I ever go for
the man died at his resort where he laid his head.
Did he?
Yeah, he was outside of his resort, and they found his body stuffed in a window.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so all because he wanted to go off by himself.
Did he want to go off by himself, or did he want to stay out and party?
No, he wanted to stay at the bar drinking. His wife was like, "We're both drunk. We need to go back to our hotel room and go to bed."
But see, that's another difference too. Is that he was drunk. I wasn't drunk. And it was like 6 o'clock 5 or 6 o'clock in the like in the evening. So it's just like, all right, if somebody were to, they're going to be doing it kind of in broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? Or while the sun is like the sun is still out. So I'm out here literally in broad daylight. So if I were to die, I'm dying in broad daylight.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's just like, yeah. So, when some of those stories you got like, hey, like, all right, he's not drunk and it's also daytime. But I do get you on safety. I'm not saying people don't go missing during the daytime or anything can happen during the daytime. I'm not doing that. But I think a lot more people go missing at night and drunk.
No, the probability of something happening to you alone and intoxicated does increase. Yes, but I just still think that it's not safe. So speaking of, if there was something happen where I ended up going missing, what is the first thing you're gonna do, babe? Pop quiz.
If something happens
So we're on vacation and all of a sudden you look up and I'm gone. Like I tell you, I'm going to the bathroom.
like, are we at a restaurant? Are we at the hotel?
I don't know. Wherever you want it to be.
Okay, so I imagine because if you go missing and you in a hotel bathroom, it's like, all right, clearly I'm in some international scheme of people selling women. But if you're at a restaurant and you go missing, what's the first thing? I'm gonna put it in that situation.
Okay.
Okay. First thing I'm doing is calling your phone.
Okay. I don't answer. What's next?
Look, I'm not Liam Neeson. This is not Taken.
I didn't say it was. I'm just saying, what is the next thing to do?
All right, I'm calling your phone. Let's say I call it twice. You don't pick up. Then I'm calling the police.
Okay.
And then
what if the police tell you that you have to wait for 24 hours for me to be reported missing?
Okay, then I guess I'm asking the hotel if I.
That's a lie. It's a lie. You don't have to wait 24 hours. You're supposed to say no. She's missing. I don't have to wait 24 hours. Report her. Take a report now. Demand it. You failed the test already. I'm dead. Nobody's ever gonna find my body again.
Well, you didn't know my next.
Listen for 20 minutes and this nigga done gave up on me already. Huh?
You didn't know.
He's like, all right, officer, I'll come back tomorrow.
No. If you would let me finish. So then the next thing is I'm asking them, the restaurant or whatever, I need to see their security footage. And now we go see.
You're not the police. We can't give you the security footage.
Well, the police said that they're on their way. So while we're waiting, why don't you take me into the back and show me?
Because you're not the police. You need a warrant.
Now I'm
slamming. That's literally what happened to the lady that listened to the podcast today.
So now I'm slamming my hand on the table.
Now you're going to jail.
On the table. I'm not hitting nobody. I'm hitting the table.
Aggressive. You're a black man being aggressive in my resort.
I'll be aggressive. My wife is missing. You know what I'm saying?
Going to jail.
Because I hit the table.
Yes. They literally, this was in Mexico. They literally made this lady pay $500 to view photos of her husband's body. They would not show her the body. They're like, we'll let you see pictures of him to identify him, but you need to pay us $500.
The police were doing it?
No,
criminals?
The coroner.
They were just trying to get money from her?
Yeah, they were literally like just saying like you're gonna pay us. They were, what's the word? Extortion.
Extorting?
Yeah, they were extorting her. Like, depending on where you are, if something was to happen to one of us, these are things that we could possibly have to deal with, is what I'm saying. We got to deal with, now these people decide they don't want to give me your body. They're going to keep it, or they're going to decide that, maybe they'll accuse you of killing me. Now you're in jail for murder because you didn't want to fucking stay with me, or now they're accusing me of murder because you fucking disappeared because you want to take a walk around the corner.
Well, you should be. Well, when I take a walk, I made sure you're not going anywhere, so you should just be in the hotel room.
I don't mean anything.
A secure hotel room.
That Amanda Knox girl ended up, when she was over in Italy, she ended up going to jail.
Who's Amanda Knox? I don't know.
She was accused of killing her roommate when she was studying abroad.
Okay.
And she went to jail.
Well, I'm not familiar with a man named Knox, but
thanks.
But no, sorry, no disrespect to Amanda Knox or that family. But no, no. But yes, my next thing is like that. So if I'm on the way, well, I needed to talk to the police anyway. So now while I'm in y'all custody, this is her picture. This is what she looked like. Find her.
I'm dead.
Then I'll pick the lock
I'm dead.
and I'll break out, and then I'll be like,
now you fugitive.
nah, yeah. But it's like, but then I'm hitting him with the speech. You know what I'm saying?
Then they shot you. You dead.
I'm a man.
Now you dead and I'm dead. Now we on the news. Black couple killed, or husband kills wife, and then police gun him down. And
they changed the whole narrative.
Goddamn story, man. You know that they gonna do that. Wife's body never found.
Husband killed himself or something.
Husband tried to escape police custody and was shut down in the process.
Well,
There you go. It's crazy.
So is there, what would you do if I went missing?
So if you went missing, I would find your phone. Tracking it.
I would track my phone?
Yes.
Okay.
I would look for your phone.
What if they threw my phone away?
So if they threw your phone away, then I know that it would be offline. So I would try and call it. I would try and find it. If I can't find it, then yes, I'm calling 911 right away. I'm getting the hotel staff involved. I want them to search the entire resort area. Get the police there.
So we're on a resort, because I just put us on like outside on the thing. Are we on a resort?
Yeah, I would assume we're at our resort or near our resort.
So is this specifically for Mexico?
No, this is for anywhere. Like this could have been our hotel. Like,
okay.
Like, let's just say you went walking in Puerto Rico around our hotel and then you ended up going missing. I'm going to the front staff and I'm going to tell them, like, I need help finding my boyfriend. He went missing. And then I'm going to demand that the police come and I'm going to let them know that I think you walked towards the beach. So people need to start going towards the beach and looking for you. I have a photo up of you. I have your date of birth, your first and last name. I'm going to tell them your cell phone number so they can track your cell phone using their GPS coordinates. I'm going to demand that they take a report.
And then?
I don't know what else, because I don't know. I'm not familiar with Puerto Rican police. They might tell me to go fuck myself, and then I have to go look for you by myself. Or they might cooperate. I have no clue. So we're at the mercy of the police after that.
You're not going to ask to see no security footage. You ain't going to...
I can ask, but I'm almost positive they're going to say no.
Give a dog a sample.
What am I supposed to do?
Clothes
figure out which direction you walked in first? Guess, I guess. And then figure out, go to every store and be like, can I see your surveillance camera?
You ain't going to hold a picture. Have you seen this man?
Yeah, I would. I would go look for you.
Why don't I believe you?
You don't believe me?
Why don't I?
You're right. I'm not looking for him. I got his mama number in my phone. I'm gonna just call her and be like, your son is missing. You should probably get out here and look for him. I'm taking a flight home.
Why yo in Bush and I believe it.
All right, babe. Let's go ahead and talk about the video that you sent me earlier today.
Okay, yes. Let's get into some stories from the internet, which I will insert this video right here.
Let's rock out. Let's get there. So 100% me, and I wouldn't even consider a prenup. She might have more money than me too, so I don't really might need to go the opposite way. Would you Joe?
Absolutely, I would. Sorry.
No doubt about it. Like, way more.
No, but I have kids. Whatever we get together, it's different. Whatever I have from before belongs to my kids. I mean, respectfully, that's just the way it is. Same, I don't expect anything from you either. You know that. Never did.
Wait.
Keno's like,
What the fuck she talking about?
Keno put his hand on her knee and said, no.
No.
That's not how it's going.
No.
What do you mean from before?
What do you mean? I have children. I was married before, so there's assets and things I have from before.
That he can't eat off of.
That he
can't touch, look at.
He won't be able to get.
Sniff as a black man, any of that.
It has nothing to do with any of that, by the way.
But he can't even look that way. Don't think about it.
I agree.
Yeah, because it belongs to my kids.
But there are things where if I need it,
What?
She had a tough spot.
I mean,
no, but if I need it, it's there.
Then don't.
Yes, obviously.
No. I mean, it's there. Yes, but no.
Yeah, but it's her discretion.
No.
He's
He
rethinking
felt like
this.
he just found that out.
The video we just watched is from some podcast with Joe Budden. That's the only person in there that I recognized. And as you see in there, there's I guess maybe, I'm not sure if the couple is engaged or they're just dating or with the future on the horizon of being married. But as you see, the woman clearly states that she has more money than the man and she would want a prenup because she has assets from a previous marriage that are, going to her kids from that previous marriage. So what I want to know is if you think should a partner have to share their assets gained in the past marriage with a new partner?
No. I didn't get from the video that she said that she made more money than him. That's why I thought that was kind of confusing. I think that the husband kind of insinuated that maybe she does have more assets than him, but probably financially, as far as like bringing in income, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Basically, the way she described it, which is what I agree with, the other women on there also agree with, and including the white man. Pretty much that.
Into it.
Yeah, but pretty much they said like this was from my previous marriage that I have children in, and those assets are for the children that came out of that marriage. Now, everything that we accumulate together during our relationship, current marriage, we will split and share equally. And I don't think it can get any better than that. What else could somebody expect from somebody else? Why do you think you should have access to something that I built with a past partner?
Well, okay, now I'm gonna take actually a more seriousness because I do agree with you that it's like, all right, like first of all, we are not even married yet. Why are you talking about something that I have from a previous marriage?
Right.
That don't concern you, my boy. I wouldn't be saying that. I would probably be saying like, my girl, but
Yeah.
but you get the
No, I know what you mean.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like to even that, like for him to even like when he said that, but if I need it, like, well, first of all, what situation are you in where you need the assets that are going to my children?
Right.
Like what are we going through where that's going to help you out? Why is that going to help you out? Because you don't need that. That's not for you. Not even for me. I'm leaving that for my little one.
Right. Because I guess I was confused by that because I feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody, you guys should be, depending on how serious it is, I'm assuming that they're either engaged or talking
Yeah.
or married or, getting ready to get married or something like that. So they've already had a discussion about finances and things like that. So they've already either decided to combine their finances together or they've decided to keep them separate. Whatever works best for them for their unique situation. And then in that case, if y'all are combining, you should have a little nest egg set aside already anyway. So if there's a situation where you need it, you dig into that. You don't dig into the accounts that were set aside for other people that aren't yours. Like, we're building here. Why are you talking about anything else that's outside of that?
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. But the way he said it, but if I needed it, and I think she was just trying to like console his ego with like, oh yeah, sure. Like, nah, you're not touching that. And I don't know why you would want to.
Right. Because it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's weird. I feel like it's a weird stance to say, well, if I need it. It's like, what do you mean if you need it? What circumstances are you in that you need to dig into my personal stuff over here that's outside of us?
Mm.
What's wrong with a bank?
Well, I guess
Can't you take out a loan? Like, what's happening? Don't you got a mama or a cousin or a sister, somebody to call?
Okay, so I knew I couldn't do it too long. So devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
Because when we unite and we became one, now we are just one couple, or marriage term, whatever you become one of. Your assets, my assets, we kind of combine, right?
Depending on what state you live in. Remember, we talked about this already because I want a prenup. I think that we should have a prenup before we get married because we're either going to decide how we split our assets or the state's going to decide. And I would rather decide. I would rather that be up to us, not to the state of Illinois or whatever state they decide to get in. So I agree. I'm all for prenups because it's not about saying, I want to divorce you. I plan on us separating. I think it's just saying if something was to happen where this marriage doesn't work out, we are in charge of how we divide everything up. We're not at the mercy of whatever state policy is in play at that time because you're either doing your own customized prenup or you're doing the government's prenup. Either way, you got a prenup. Can't get out of it.
Either way,
Prenups exist. You either make it on your own or you're following the state you got married in's prenup.
I get you. Like I said, yeah, I don't have no problem with no prenup. Like I said, I live by a very specific code of my girl take care of me, so I don't need nothing. I don't want nothing. So I walk back out.
That girl that went to Malaysia, she take care of you.
What girl is this?
That's what you talking about?
Oh no, talk about you, honey dip, honey poo.
The girl that was in Malaysia, the one who was sending you pictures in Malaysia, the way she was having a good time.
She wasn't sending me no pictures. It was they were Snapchat
that she
story
sent
pictures.
you.
They weren't sent to me. They were.
Why were you watching her
They
snaps?
were sent because you go through everybody's.
I don't go through people's snaps on Snapchat.
Well, that's you. That's what a lot of people go through other people's story on Snapchat.
Crazy.
That's the point of it.
Wild.
That's like going on social media and be like, "Oh, I don't have no friends." Like, why are you on social media?
I don't look at anybody's snaps on Snapchat. Snapchat is my photo gallery.
I get that, but
I use it to save photos.
But you ain't got no friends on Snapchat.
No, I don't.
I
don't talk to anybody on Snapchat.
You ain't got to talk to nobody, but you
don't post anything on Snapchat.
You ain't even got, but you don't have no friends that don't be posting no stories on Snapchat.
No, not that I look at.
Well, some of us are popular and cool.
Some of us are cheaters.
Some people are. Not this guy, but some people are. You right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. I ain't tripping on that. Ain't nothing happening there. But all right, so
I didn't like that laugh.
No, we going back on topic. This is wild because I'm the one putting us back on topic. All right, so a little more serious. So when do you feel like is the best time to talk about money and assets in a relationship?
I feel like once you're deciding that you're going to get married, so it's kind of like how we did. We had a little bit of a baby discussion about it already, but it's like I feel like once you're deciding that okay, we're gonna get married and legally attach ourselves to each other, then that's when you need to sit down and you need to figure out like, okay, how are we paying bills? How are we saving money for an emergency? Like, what's the plan for the future as far as like if we were to separate and things like that? Like, how are we gonna split the assets? It's just a lot of stuff when it comes to life that requires money.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta eat, you gotta have a place to live, you gotta pay bills, you gotta get to and from work, you got cars and gas and children to take care of. Everything costs money. So I feel like if you're not having conversations about it before you enter a marriage, then I feel like you're just pretty much setting yourself up for failure, right?
Well, see, I always grew up heard talking about money in a relationship is tacky. So,
Who said that? Was this a married person?
Yeah, happily married.
Who said that?
A happily married woman.
Name or how are they How do you know them?
Nana.
Who is Nana?
Nah, just joke. I'll debate that. I'll do that.
I was about to say, I feel like that sounds like the advice from an unmarried person.
Nah. You didn't
But
think
I
that
just feel
when I
like
said
nobody.
when I said Nana?
I don't know.
I ain't
That's
never
what I just
Nana.
said.
Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. But I was just saying, like, I feel like that's like the worst case that could happen. Like, you don't talk about it at all, and then all of a sudden you married, and that person got $2 in their bank account. You know what I mean? And you got 10,000 or whatever the case may be, or this person has no retirement plan and they plan on living off you. You know what I mean? Like you just like you have to sit down and talk
Just
about.
say my name, then. Damn, girl.
What are you talking about?
I only got $2, and I plan on living off you.
But it's like things like that. Like I think about like one lady that I work with. Her in-laws, her husband's parents, they did not plan for retirement. Neither one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like neither one of them. And I was just like, I guess I can get it. I mean, I don't know what people were taught back then. Like I'm assuming that they were probably like grew up in like the 40s. So it's like,
Yeah, that's what the time you just work till you die. It wasn't
right.
no.
But I just feel like maybe they weren't taught things like that. But it's just feel like nowadays, like there's more financial education out there. And even if your partner isn't financially educated, like there's opportunities for y'all to like sit down and have those conversations and grow together. So that way you don't end up fucking each other over.
I'm with you.
So
I agree with you. Like I said, I am like even though like for me, like even though you don't know like how it like even though you don't know like exactly like how bad my debt is, that is even though it's not like I'm
I
not
have more
like
debt than you. You already know that.
Oh well, yeah, you went to school,
Right. I have
So,
student loan debt that will
yeah.
never be paid
So
off.
that's what I'm saying. So no, yeah, but yeah, my debt isn't bad at all. But I'm an open book with it. So it's just like, yeah, girl. Mhm. So I always feel, but I do feel like yeah, you should definitely talk about it. And I would probably say, probably even before that, like if you just get the thought before like talk about it before even like maybe even marriage. Just because it could be some people's like ick or whatever you want to call it.
What do you mean, like as far as like debt wise, or
Well,
like
even
saving
that,
patterns or things
yeah,
like that?
that money. How much money do you make? I feel like maybe you should talk. Like maybe people should talk about that even before. Like if they're even thinking like, I'm getting serious with this person. I can see myself with this person. Like clearly, like I would say, like if you start to see yourself as like I can marry this person, or you're seriously contemplating about getting this person a ring, I think at that point it's like, all right, at this point, like let's really talk about finances, like you know, like we, or like even moving in together, like even at that point.
So do you think it's important for your partner to know how much money you make?
Maybe not exact like the exact number, but I mean, yeah, kind not. Ooh, that's a
I only ask because
two-headed.
I know a lot of married people who don't know how much their significant other makes. Like they just know that their certain amount of money go into their joint account every month, and that's it. Bills get paid with that, and that's it.
I
And
mean,
then there are some who know exactly what their other partner makes because all of their money goes into the same account every single month. They can see how much they got paid. They file their taxes together. Everything is all done together.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I need to know the exact number. I would need to know the exact. I'm just doing this from my viewpoint. Other people are gonna view stuff way differently.
Right.
For
I'm just
me,
asking for your
I don't need.
personal view. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't need the exact. I don't need to know. Your check should be 1642. Like, and so which like I'm not gonna be over your money now. If you came up like just broke, and it's just like you ain't paying your bills, like I would need to know that. But
Well, no, I don't mean that. I just mean like salary wise. Like there are certain people who don't know how much their partner makes on an annual basis.
see, that's kind
So
of
do you think that's important for you to know?
I ain't gonna say it's the most important, But I do think it's kind of weird to like not know. You know what I'm saying? Like not know like a ballpark range, or you know what I'm saying, or it's like are these coming like do they come in like, oh yeah, I got a raise or a promotion or anything, or they just whatever money they
I
make
think
is.
they just don't ask. Like,
I mean that's to its own, but I would like I said, even though I wouldn't need a number, I'd just like to know like, oh snap, you got a raise, that's dope. Let's celebrate. You know, you got a promotion. You know, hey, that's dope. I guess the promotion don't really matter, but you know, like yeah, like to know that oh okay, you making more money, and it's like not that I want like to take any more money or anything like that, but just to know like okay, for sure. Like I said, I don't need to know the exact number, but just to know that you are making money.
so you're saying you would want like a range?
Yeah,
Like, I make between X amount and X amount of dollars.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I really wouldn't care whether or not you told me how much money you made or not, because at the end of the day, as long as you are paying the bills that need to be paid, that's all that matters. Now, I want to know if you lost your job, like if you became unemployed and no longer have income coming in. I think that would be important to share with your
Or
partner.
what if I never had
And
a
people
job?
do that.
What if I never had a job in the first place?
Well, as long as you can financially fund in whatever ways you doing the bills that need to be paid.
You know, I got
And if that income stops flowing towards you, however it is you assume it, then I need to know about it.
okay. So, would you rather know if the person just has a job, but you don't know what that job is, but you know how much they make, or would you have to know how much that person makes, but you don't know what? Did I do this? Wait a second.
You're saying, would I rather know what you do for a living but not know your salary, or would I rather know your salary but not know what you're doing?
Yeah.
I would rather know what you're doing and not know your salary.
Oh.
As long as you can afford to pay bills. That is the most important part. Like, as long as you can afford to pay the bills that you need to pay, I don't care how much money you make.
So I'm just a drug dealer out here giving fentanyl out.
I didn't say. I said I want to know what you're doing for a living. I said I don't need to know the salary. That's what I said.
That's what I'm doing. The salary is making $500K.
I just said I don't want to know this. I'm confused.
I don't know. I'm throwing stuff out there.
I was going to say, I just said the opposite of what you're saying. I said I want to know the job. I want to know what you're doing for a job.
So I'm a drug dealer selling fentanyl.
Right, and that wouldn't be acceptable to me.
Why?
Because I don't date drug dealers, and that's the end of it. I'm confused.
You're right, babe. I'm not a drug dealer.
You're not.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to call your job and let them know?
What? That I'm selling drugs?
Sure.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I just think, yeah. And I feel like, especially when you have children outside of that relationship, whatever is set aside for kids should be off limits.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's like that shouldn't even be a topic for negotiation.
So and that was my thing about that video. Like I could kind of see like even when dude, because I think one of the things about because the dude kind of found out on the podcast, it was just like, oh snap, she's got more than I thought she did. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then so that was like, whoa. But then when he said, "But if I need something," like,
right?
What? You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he was more upset because he didn't know that she had the extra assets, or do you think he was upset because he had to find out on TV
I think
or
it's
on the podcast?
More than anything, I can guarantee he's more upset because he found out in a room full of people, instead of just like through conversation at home, one-on-one with her. We as men, we carry a lot of pride and ego, so that's kind of like and Joe Budden wasn't making it
Was not making
easier.
it any matter.
Wasn't
By
even
laughing
know.
about
Yeah,
the whole
exactly.
damn thing, like it
And
was a joke.
but that's the thing, and that's how we are as dudes, though. All
No,
right.
that's how ignorant, immature people with low emotional IQs are.
Okay.
Honestly, because nobody else was really cackling as hard as Joe Budden
Yeah.
was. None of the other husbands in that room were doing that. It was just him.
I have to rewatch, but I tend to agree with you. So I'm sure I'm more than sure that you were right.
Like a lot of them kind of felt a little awkward more than anything. I
Mm.
felt like.
Yeah, see that you making me want to view it again to just see the a lot of the other people's more reaction to it. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just like So and once again, when the dude's like, I need it, and he's like, well, if I need it, and it's just like, what possible? Because me as a parent would be like, what possible reason would you need to go? Pretty much, I would put like, what possible reason would you need to go into my son's account?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this has been
Now, what if
established.
everything wasn't set aside for the kids?
Oh, there's something.
What if she, let's just say in her divorce, she acquired a summer house. And then she also split whatever money was in the account, and each of the kids got like $50K that's sitting in all of their accounts. And I don't know how many kids this lady got, so we assume she got 2. So 2 kids, so $50K sitting in each of these accounts. That's cool. She also has a whole house. Do you think he has rights to that house?
I don't think he should. Me personally, like say I
That
found
was
out,
purchased by her and her ex-husband.
say I found out you got a summer house that you got from your previous relationship and it's yours. I would be mad if you didn't tell me about the summer house so we can go there and vacation. That's your house. Like, hey, babe, can we go to your summer house for vacation? That's yours. That was here before. That house was here before me. So for me to walk in after and be like, well, half of this gonna be mine, right? That's wild to me. Like it's like it ain't.
But some people view it that way. Some people think that when they go into a marriage that everything should be split 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, it's some people who go in and think that
if y'all get it
we built a
together.
life together for the last 10, 15, 20 years. And, I should have access to half of everything, even if you had it before we came in, because I put time in. Do you think that there's a time limit on the marriage that would change that rule for you?
What do you mean?
So let's just say, obviously, we'll keep it the same scenario. So I have a house. The kids have this account. Now the kids are grown. They have access to that money. They off doing their own thing. But we still have this house. This house has appreciated over time, which means it's gone up, let's just say, double in value. So there's a lot more equity in that house now. And then we've been married for 20 years and we get a divorce. You think you should have access to that, to half of the equity in that house?
Now, if it's a nasty divorce, I'm probably not going like, you know what, don't keep it off. 20 years, like keep it off. But if we got a nice divorce, I'm like, hey, this like you ain't even gotta throw me 10, 20K my way. You know what I'm saying?
So is there any number of years that would make you want to say, yes, I want half of that?
I don't know.
Because we're in our 30s. So 20 years, we will only be in our 50s.
Right.
30 years from now, we will only be in our 60s. So I feel like I still have 30-something more years left to live after that. So it's like, I would still be living or, moving around, vacationing, traveling, dating probably for a lot longer. So.
Yeah, no, I truly would, in relationships, I don't want nothing. Like, and I don't know. I've never been.
Yeah, I was
in
gonna say, but you're
20
saying it now. I'm trying to ask you to put
at
yourself
50 and 60 years old.
Well, not even that. Trying to put yourself into the mindset of you have built life with me. We have paid bills together. Maybe there was something that happened at that house, so we needed to replace appliances or work on foundation, to change windows, put a new roof on it. You know what I mean? Like 30 years in a house, there's money that's gonna have to be put into the house.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you have contributed to it, do you think you should have
if more
money out of that.
I feel like if more than anything, if I can break even, so if, say I put $10,000 in the house, uh, and then we selling the house or whatever. If I can get the 10K back, even though I know the mortgage and all of that is up in there too. Forget the mortgage is gonna have to be paid anyway. But yeah, if there's like 10, all right.
Well, the house is paid off. We're just going to
Right.
assume the house is paid
Okay.
off. So something.
I got you. Yeah, nah.
And insurance.
All right. So now I'm keeping receipts. Like, look, can I just get 10, 15K, whatever I put into it? Can I just get that back? You can have the rest. I'm gonna start life again. Like you said, I still got another. Let's say this is at 50. I still got another 20, 30 years I plan on living. So yeah, I'll do what I can. 50 is still kind of young.
Okay.
That's just how I feel. That's my personal thing. I know a lot of people probably won't feel that way. I know it's different when emotions get involved, but I see myself being this way at 50.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because it's never really been about money for me. It's always like, for me, it's always about motion and feeling. So I can't put a price on that. You can give me half of $200,000, and it's like I'm still gonna be unhappy. You know what I mean? Or I'm still not gonna be happy. So I can go away with 10K and find my happiness in with 100. It'll be easier with 100, but I don't even want to go through all that drama. Whatever can make it easier, smoother, and easier.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think it really just depends on the situation, because at the end of the day, when you end a relationship like that, and we've both done it where we've lived with a partner and then we've had to end a relationship. And I know for me personally, that was financially a burden on me. So it because either you're moving out, which means you have to find a new place to live, right? And it's a lot of financial things that go into that. You're either furnishing a new home, or you're having to pay for movers to move your stuff. You're going to you got to go somewhere else. Or if it's the opposite, your partner is moving out. Now all of those bills that were either split by that partner or paid by the other partner now becomes yours, and now you have to be financially responsible for all of that on your own now. So that can significantly change people's lives. It's the same thing that happens when, like, a partner passes away unexpectedly. If you're not financially prepared for it, there's people who lost their homes because the surviving partner was not able to financially pay all of those bills by themselves anymore. So I think that.
Because I already know what I'm gonna say.
Oh, so I feel like you have to think about that aspect of it too.
I do. Well, so this is part of thing about I do. And that's why a lot of times I live like I'm poor. Like I don't have it. So when I do have it, or when I don't, if I do have it, you'll never know because I'm acting homeless. I will go eat some ramen, even though I'm actually about to go get a pack of ramen next week, so I could just remember
That's not
that.
even healthy.
Girl,
That's not even in your diet.
I'm broke, baby. I ain't got to worry about health right now.
Okay. Let's be for real.
Nah, but no, I do get what you're saying. But I will say this: I've been broke a lot of times in life, and it's just like, all right, so I've had to make some money stretch. Wow, I've had times where, I've been down to like, my last 150, $200, or I need to make $100 stretch, week or something like that. And you can do it. It's hard, but you got to.
I didn't say you couldn't do it. That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not saying you can't make $1 stretch. What I'm saying is that if you put in time into a relationship for years, you guys build this life together, and then you just saying that you would just walk away from it all and just be homeless, is what you're pretty much saying.
Saying I'm gonna be homeless, but
That's what you're insinuating, that you would be okay with being homeless.
no,
To just giving it all to the other person and just walking away from it all.
no. I mean, I might have to crash. Well, yeah, okay. I guess being homeless, yeah. But I'll get back on my feet. I still get my job. Like so, it may. I just need like a month and a half. Find me a place, move in there, start my life over. And like I said, because I'm not, because it's a lesser income. Uh, Dang it, I had a really good one. Because it's lesser income or whatever. Like I will never, let my mind get into a place where it's like I can't be broke or yeah, I'm not gonna let my mind get to like I can't be broke or like uh can't be broke or damn it. I It keeps coming and going. Anyway, but I won't let my mind pretty much get me to where I think I can live above my means or even live at my means. Where sometimes I will remind myself, like, yo, remember where you came from type of deal.
So I'm confused. Can you elaborate on what that means? Are you saying like you want to have a savings account? Because you can live at your means and save and have like a nest egg. I'm confused right now.
I'm just
Are you
saying.
saying you're gonna have like a secret account where you keep
No.
like where you put like a secret stash of money for just in case? What does
First off,
this mean?
I'm very aware of a savings account. I don't need no secret account or anything like that. All I'm saying is that it's specifically to your point of like, say, we moving out, so now you gotta get used to paying 100% of everything. You know what I mean? Like you gotta pay 100% of your own bills. Where so you gotta get used to that again. And all I'm saying is mentally, during that, say in 20 years, and I'm gonna knock on wood that don't happen with us. But say in 20 years, something go wrong, we end up divorcing, and now I gotta get used to that. I'm saying mentally, I'm going to be in that mode of financially, like I've always been broke. I live my life broke.
Well, I'm asking. Okay, I guess what I'm confused on is why do you have to leave? Sorry, why do you have to leave our marriage broke? Is what
I
I'm
don't
trying
have
to
to
be confused.
leave. I don't have to leave broke, but I also I want I don't want nothing like messy or nasty. So, and a lot of times, a lot of divorces when it comes to the assets and stuff, with the exception of if you have a prenup in place. I'm taking all of this with no prenup in place.
There is a prenup. It's called the state of Illinois.
Well, that
They
yeah,
tell you how to divide your assets.
I get that. I mean, I'll take that, but more than anything, like if I had the choice, I'm like I said, I'm taking that out and we just leaving. We gotta plan this out. Give me 15, 20K and send me a more. I lifted up from 10.
Okay. I mean, it feels like a martyr stance to take versus just going in if we didn't have a prenup and just being like, this is the state law. You will split your assets according to the law and go
We
about your
can do that too.
business.
We can do that too.
I don't
get
understand
that.
why that can't be the process.
That can be a process. I'm just saying, like, in
Why
the
does it have to
event
be a martyr where
if
you just take everything and I'll just take nothing and be
if
homeless?
I ain't gotta be homeless. But my mindset is always I'm homeless. I don't have a place to live.
That's a bad mindset to have.
Not at all.
It's kind of like a mindset of poverty.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to be my mindset. I want to have a mindset of wealth and stability.
No, but if you see what I got going on, even though I keep my broke mindset, I'm still elevating higher.
Right. So I think what you mean is that you're ready for an emergency. And that's why I keep saying like a savings account or a rainy day like
Yeah.
account or a nest egg, like something that you set aside for if all shit goes to hell. then I have this little spot over here that I can ride
I
on
ain't
to
gonna,
get me until things get better.
I ain't gonna say all that because I mean, I have some money saved where I like, all right, I could make it a little bit. You know what I mean? It ain't
Right.
like I'm a like shit. Well, this is like holding me back or nothing like that.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying what you're saying instead of saying you have a homeless mentality or you however you word it. I can't remember now how exactly how you word it. But instead of stating that, like, I would say it sounds more positive. It sounds because
Oh, so you want to sound more positive?
because it sounds, I don't know, I just believe in like mentally and like saying things out loud sometimes, like it can bring things into fruition. And I don't want to say things like that because I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to be
I don't
broke.
want to be.
So I don't want to have like a mentality where it's like, well, I'm homeless. I'm broke on it. Like, like I don't want to be saying stuff like that. I want to be like, I am prepared mentally to handle a situation if I have to go through some financial struggles versus saying I know how to be broke. I'm home. What did you say?
I get you. I use it as motivation though. So you know what I mean? Like, so that's just a motivator for me. Like, man, I'm out here. Like you said, it's my third bowl of ramen this week. You know what I mean? Like I don't want this. So I use that as motivation. So I need to live that life.
And what's my thing
and
now? I
to
always say,
motivate that life.
what do I always say, babe?
Closed mouths don't get fed.
No,
What
I
do you
say we're not homeless. We have jobs. Let's act like it.
And when I'm on the clock, I do. But when not,
No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't like act. I like
get
acting
you.
like I have a job. I like acting like I am employed, and I like to act like that, and I like to live that way because I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for my financial stability. So I am gonna keep
I get you.
speaking that into existence
I get you.
versus
And
the opposite.
but when I see that quarter on the street and I pick it up, I'm gonna pick it up
That's
every
totally
time.
fine. I agree.
So yeah, that's all. So I think we just have different ways.
I did
to...
that today when I went to the grocery store.
Yeah.
The thing wouldn't take my dollar, so I went in my wallet and I took all the change I had in there and just started putting it in. I said, I'm not swiping my card today. So they're just going to take all the little change I got. All right, babe. So let's wrap things up. We've been talking for a long time today.
Minute.
Hours. So do you have anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
You know what? Just one last thing. I want to get us into your sports corner. So I know how big of a basketball fan you are, and how much NBA you have been taking in. So I just want to go back and revisit how you feel about the Bulls since the Zach LaVine trade.
I think they're terrible. You know how I feel about the Bulls. I hate them.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't like the Bulls. They're terrible.
Okay, I didn't know that. So you don't.
Well, I don't hate them. I shouldn't say that. I have no faith in them.
Okay, so you don't think Kobe White's really stepping it up, and he scored like 20 plus points in the last 6 games, 6+ games. Has anything to do, like, now he doesn't seem as like, now he's kind of take on that leadership role that fulfills Zach LaVine's the
trade.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then what about, like, how do you feel about, like, Josh Giddey's development too? Because now we have such a young team, where
I think that the Bulls make poor choices. I'll say that they trade people and get rid of people, and they do bad things. They're almost as bad as the Bears, or actually, they're worse than the Bears.
Okay, so overall, then, so going back to
and I don't think their coach is that good either.
I will give you that on the coach. I am not a Billy Donovan fan. But yeah, no, but I do think they have been playing better recently. They beat the brakes off the Lakers Saturday, I think, like 146-115, and that was with LeBron and Luka Doncic.
Sure.
And Kobe and Josh Giddey went off, so it's very interesting to see. I did not know that you weren't a Bulls fan, but big. I knew you weren't too. Anyway, I know you're a diehard NBA fan, and that's all that matters. So I just wanted to revisit that trade.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get more.
How are the Celtics doing?
They're doing Celtic things. I think they're second place in the East overall. So, but I do think I think their record is not that good against like the top teams in the NBA. But
Where is the Bulls falling in the rank? They're not up there, are they?
No. So the Bulls, so they did move up. They are like ninth place out of like 14 or 15 teams. So I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, they're positioning themselves to kind of make the play-in tournament to make the playoffs, but I don't think
They're gonna fizzle out.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. It's not a championship year, but the development of Kobe White since Zach LaVine has left, he's been playing like a lot better, and he's been more consistent in his scoring.
So you think he was holding him back?
I think because
No, it's just time to shine.
Yeah, because Levine and DeRozan were pretty ball dominant people, so he didn't have the ball in his hand a lot. And when he did, he was off. But now that he has the ball in his hand more, he's been more consistent with his scoring.
More confident.
Yeah, because now it's like he's leading. He's still young. He's only like 25. Our second guy is only like 25, so they're not like. Even though there are some players that
They're
are
not old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, LeBron older than us, but
that's what I said. They're not old like LeBron.
Yeah, but I don't know how he do it because I would be hurting. I mean, I'm not in basketball shape either, and don't have $1 million
Sure, he's probably hurting
to spend on my body a year. But anyway, so with that, I think we will conclude this episode.
Yes.
So we would like to thank you guys for listening and watching for our YouTube watchers.
And Spotify.
And Spotify. Oh, yeah.
Because the video is on Spotify.
Video is on Spotify as long as we upload it that way. But yeah, make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify. Send us those likes. We are the We're Just Saying Podcast. TikTok is the We're Just Saying Pod.
All of our social media will be at the end of the video.
But yeah, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and share. And hit us in the comments with any suggestions.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.